Local and live. Covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Dan DeDona here with the Local News 1 weekly report, early winter and Halloween Day edition. Speaking for Hagerstown, Chambersburg, Smithsburg, Fairfield, Waynesboro, and all the communities that make up our local area. I'm going to start off with 5 things to do this weekend. It's going to be an extended version because it's being Halloween, there's just all kinds of activities around the area. Number 1, in Greencastle, local businesses are rolling out the red carpet, or at least festive garlands, for the Downtown and Around Town Holiday Open House. It's taking place on Saturday, November 1st, throughout the day. Shoppers can dive into a treasure trove of decorating essentials, stylish clothing, cozy shoes, thoughtful gifts tailored for Thanksgiving and Christmas celebrations. This is to support the community's vibrant retail heartbeat. Check your hours. They'll vary a little bit store by store. Second item, the 10th annual Fallback Cider, Spirits, and Wine Fest will be taking place at the Washington County Agricultural Educational Center at 7313 Sharpsburg Pike in Boonesboro, Maryland. They'll be drawing crowds to sip seasonal delights while competing in games, getting with dozens of vendors, devouring great fare from top local food trucks. Tickets range from $15 to $49, offering a flavorful escape from the impending winter doldrums. Let's see. Third item up. The Runaway Bull Farm in Hagerstown, Maryland is inviting thrill seekers to deliver a knockout punch at its Pumpkin Smash event on Saturday, November 1st at the farm at 17163 Lappins Road. Excuse me. They'll be hosting the seasonal finale where participants will be wielding provided tools to pulverize leftover field pumpkins for eager barnyard animals to devour, turning the waste into wildlife fodder in a delightfully destructive win-win situation for everybody. Admission is $12.95 online or $13.95 at the gate. Children under 2 and under are free. The Cumberland Valley School of Music is going to be hosting its 36th annual Gala Showcase Concert, Ladies in the Limelight. That'll be at 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 2nd, in the Thompson Alumni Chapel at Wilson College in Chambersburg. It celebrates female trailblazers in music and drawing music lovers for an afternoon of inspiration and melody. Tickets are $30 for patrons, who will get shout-outs for the advertising, prime seats, and treat-filled goodie bags. $15 general admission, $5 for CVSM family members, and free for current students and faculty. That'll be at 1015 Philadelphia Avenue in Chambersburg. And the fifth item of the 5 things to do this weekend is at the Top Secret Tap Room at Fort Ritchie in Cascade, Maryland. They're going to be transforming the place into a treasure trove of temptations on Sunday, November 2nd, when the Blue Ridge Summit Free Library hosts its annual silent auction fundraiser from 3 until 6 p.m. They'll have local musician Rich Faley providing live entertainment. There'll be food and drinks available for purchase, all to raise funds for the library's community programs. And we have 4 additional things this week that we're going to hit very briefly. The Haunted Jail in Chambersburg will be open to those who dare on Halloween night, that'll be tonight, October 31st, and on Saturday, November 1st, from 7 p.m. until 9:30 p.m., both nights. It's located at the Old Jail on 175 East King Street. Visitors can walk through the large cell door down into the yard where clowns and fiends await you. Pass by the gallows where prisoners were executed in the 1800s. It's one of the longest running Halloween attractions in Franklin County, and it is the largest fundraising event held by the Franklin County Historical Society. Admission is $10, And there's parking available in the church lot next to the jail. Next up, Mercersburg Academy has a jazz band, chorale, and a cappella groups who will all be taking the stage in the Fall Pops concert. That's going to be tonight, October 31st at 7:30 p.m. at the Bergen Center for the Arts Simon Theater out at Mercersburg Academy. Performance is free, open to the public. It'll be a mix of vocal and instrumental attractions. The Fall Pops concert is a celebration of creativity, collaboration, and community. Showcases the musical heart of Mercersburg's arts programs. Next to the last, the Fenris Gaming Hall will be hosting a grand opening and ribbon cutting also today at 2 p.m. at 11375 Robinwood Drive. Fenris Gaming LLC is a premier tabletop gaming retailer and a community hub located in College Plaza. Let's see, they're specializing in games, workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, and Citadel paints. Visitors can visit www.fenrisgamingllc.com for more information. And last of all, the third year of the Read the Room comedy show features organizer Ashley Pontius, Tommy Sinbazo, and Nathan Scahill at Waynesboro's Rough Edges Brewing Company on Saturday, the 1st of November at 8 p.m. This is held to raise money for the Franklin County Literacy Council. Pontius is a comedian who has tutored reading in the past. She has concerns about adults who cannot read beyond 8th grade levels and worries that 17,000 people in Pennsylvania drop out of high school each year. She notes that there is a ripple effect as one adult improves his or her literacy skills, particularly if that adult is a parent. It's a generational poverty-breaking event, she says. Tickets are $15 if purchased online, $20 at the door. And be sure to check out much more Halloween coverage in localnews1.org. And we'll shift over to the stories of the week, starting with voting. 4th of November, there'll be elections in Pennsylvania. There is, this week in localnews1.org, there is a frequently asked questions section for voters, just a number of things about how to register, when to register, where to go to vote, that sort of thing. Polls will be opening at 7 in the morning, and they will be open until 8 o'clock at night. Washington County, on a related theme, is offering Thinking About Running for Office as a presentation for from 8 until 10 o'clock, also on the 4th of November. That'll be at the University of Maryland's campus there in Hagerstown at the Hospitality Center. The government closure has been getting a lot of attention. People are in fact reacting as you would expect that they would. In Washington County, they're sharing a list of food assistance organizations and locations throughout the Washington County area. It's an extensive list. Certainly can't go through it all here. I would highly recommend go out and take a look at the article in localnews1.org. Anybody who has any problem with finding food, very comprehensive list of people who should be able to help you out. In Pennsylvania, Wellspan is donating $275,000 for food banks in the South Central Pennsylvania area. In Franklin County, jail officials, you recall last week we talked about some of the problems that the Franklin County Jail was having with staffing and difficulty retaining people. This week, they came online to reassure the public that they are in fact dealing with the issues. They emphasize that Franklin County jails are safe for both inmates and for the employees. They are working on compensation packages with the union, and they're taking steps to deal with their recruiting problems. In Washington County, they're announcing 4 bridge closures which will be closed for inspections between the 3rd and the 6th of November. You can see the list in localnews1.org, but they're in multiple places, obviously, in the county. Continuing stories about Penn State University at Mount Alto. A state court has issued an order that forces Penn State University to unseal documents per right to know laws in the state of Pennsylvania. Of course, the main issue here is that most of the decision making and all the things that actually took place in the decision making were taken behind closed doors in executive sessions dating back to 2022. So there's a legal organization representing news organizations throughout Pennsylvania that has taken up the cause and has been filing to have that information released. So with any luck at all, we should soon know exactly what it is that we are told we're not seeing the whole story and that Penn State has not been sharing. Hopefully we'll see that pretty soon. In a companion piece by Jawad Malik, who is a representative for 10,000 Commonwealth campus students, he's basically calling for attention to the students and the faculty, noting that the students are somewhat unnerved. Faculty is somewhat unnerved. Apparently it hasn't been made clear exactly what's going to happen. And from the students' perspective, from Jawad's perspective, it seems like many steps are being taken to close courses, to refer courses to online courses rather than in classroom courses, and professors are quitting or they're wringing their hands trying to figure out what to do. They really should be. Penn State ought to be taking care of, in addition to their students, they ought to be taking better care of their employees. In Washington County, they are adding additional new vehicles with advanced operational and safety features for emergency services. They're serving about 10,000 calls per month. There are 155,000 people that emergency services serve. The county has about 30 vehicles. There are about 140 to 150 vehicles that are owned by volunteer fire departments. And there are 20 additional vehicles in reserve, which we reported last week. Washington County is spending some money to see to it that they are ready to go when needed. In Hagerstown, Spikers is celebrating their 70th anniversary, and oh, by the way, they are also opening a brand new location in Martinsburg. Ribbon cutting is today, I believe. In Hagerstown Community College, they have received a $197,000 grant to expand dental clinic and lab services in rural areas. This money is going to be used to train about 127 students, and serve 900 people. That's an activity that's being sponsored by the Department of Economic Development and the Chamber of Commerce in Washington County. In Waynesboro, the North Side Pool is going to be receiving upgrades and renovation this winter. It comes to a total of about $2 million. About $950,000 of that is from pool resources that have been saved over many, many years. Pool reserves, I should say, and $1 million grant that they received. They should be done by May of 2026. The Waynesboro Historical Society is launching a fundraising drive. They are looking for contributions it appears that they're looking for contributions that might come as high as $100,000 or more, because what they do, among other things, is they see to it that any number of historical sites around Washington Township and in Waynesboro are restored and maintained in a functional manner. So if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, they would like to receive these any donations that people are willing to make by the 15th of December. In Franklin County, the Empty Bowls fundraiser, which we reported on a week ago, took place on the 23rd of October, and they netted $18,000. Very happy to net $18,000 on that. This is going to be in support of the Gleaning Project, which, if you recall from previous reports, is an activity that goes over fields that have been mechanically harvested, which leave quite a bit of harvest left to pick up. Well, the Gleaning Project goes and gets that and then distributes that locally. So as we're looking at the government shutdown and the end of SNAP functions, this should be very helpful for food banks throughout the area. Waynesboro has a group of ladies called Elves of Hope. They've been together for 13 years, and their purpose is to make comfort bags for cancer patients. You can see the article for more details, but it's really a wonderful effort. There are so many different small groups that have to deal with illness or with other kinds of problems. And the fact that a group of people would simply identify one or more of those groups and take steps to make their Christmas a little better is a wonderful thing. The Rotary Club of Waynesboro provides gifts for students up on the mountain every year, and there's also a Toys for Children for those who might have some difficulty putting anything under the tree this year. In Chambersburg, Wilson College is providing an evening course of conflict management on the 5th of November at the Brooks Auditorium. It'll be at 4:30 in the afternoon and is free to the public. This is a part of a series that they offer out there at Wilson College, so you should check and see what else they offer. Shifting briefly to one item in police news, in Antrim Township, 81-year-old Connie Cornelius was hit in a two-vehicle accident on the 28th of October. She was taken to the hospital, subsequently passed from her injuries. State police are investigating exactly what happened to find out if something else needs to be done. Excuse me. In People News, Washington County Chamber's 2026 Legacy Award was presented to Donald M. Bowman, the owner of the truck company, who apparently started a long time ago with just one truck hauling coal. That developed into numerous businesses throughout the Hagerstown and Washington County area, and he has also gotten very deeply into philanthropy. As a matter of fact, it was the Bowman family that offered the former Citibank facility for homeless people, something that the Hagerstown City Council is apparently still considering. Let's see. First Lady Lori Shapiro has spent some time in the past week hiking 10 miles of the Appalachian Trail. She apparently has an objective of hiking all 229 miles of the Appalachian Trail that cut through the state of Pennsylvania. And so she's making progress, and a very nice story on her visit to the local area. In Chambersburg, we have 15-year-old sprint car prodigy Trevor Gack, I think it's pronounced. Young fellow who's been participating in sprint car races throughout this past season. He was involved in 41 features. He has 10 wins, 32 top 5 finishes. So congratulations to you, sir, on some excellent driving. In Waynesboro, we've got a lot of news here about things that are happening in sports. Waynesboro Stallions youth football is continuing its climb in football tournaments in the state. They have a game on the 1st of November. That'll be tomorrow in Redland. More details in the article. In youth soccer, there are 8 teams in the local area that are dominating in a variety of leagues. In the United Recreational Soccer League, we have 3 Waynesboro teams, the Maidens, the Warriors, and United, and a Fairfield team, all of which I believe are still undefeated and are about to take their league titles. There are 3 Chambersburg teams in the Central Pennsylvania Soccer League. Union, the under-11 boys Havoc, and the under-12 girls Mamba are all taking their league titles. And in Greencastle, the under-15 girls destroyers are also finishing very strong. It's kind of interesting news because there was a time just 20 years ago when you couldn't buy a soccer ball in a local shop, any place in the area, and now you find them all over the place. And not only that, but you're finding teams that are starting to become dominant. So soccer is going to be it's going to be pretty interesting watching how all these teams compete with one another as they get a little bit older. And health news. I'm going to start off with a little different kind of a story. The Cumberland Valley Animal Society publishes an article once a week called Sniff Notes. The article that was published this past week was kind of interesting because it's about a dog. The subject is separation fears, but it's worth a thought that getting separated from dogs is in some ways also relevant to separation from children. They start asking questions. They start wondering if they did something wrong. They start developing behaviors to try to compensate. It's a particularly well-written article, and if you just simply separate the dog from the effect on humans and constant separations in a very, very busy world this day that takes the parents away many hours of the day, it's worth a read. In WellSpan News, Dr. Vinitha Mopin is warning about the seasonal rise of hand, foot, and mouth disease. And she offers some advice on helping. That actually had an impact on some local events recently for several fundraisers where a number of groups at the very last minute had to call in and say, I don't think we ought to show up. This is really contagious stuff. So at Emeritus, Dr. Anne Marie Hugh is reviewing reasons for mammography for women. Actually, the main one is, her contention in the article is that breast cancer is very highly treatable, but the real trick to the whole thing is early detection, and that's why you do mammograms. If you recall, last week we talked about how women, especially younger women who are getting a mammogram for the first time, don't panic when you get a call back and they're asking for more information, because they have to have a baseline. They have to know something more about you after they start looking, because there's a lot of reasons why they might see something, many of which in many cases have nothing to do with the development of breast cancer. And it's also a matter of putting those down as markers so that when they look a second, third, and subsequent times throughout your lives, they know not to worry about that because it's a known quantity. So continuing effort with respect to mammography by the Meritus folks. Meritus Health also received numerous very favorable grades from Health Grades, an organization that grades healthcare performance throughout the state of Maryland. Among others, they got a second place for surgical support in the state of Maryland. So kudos to Meritus for your good work there. In Waynesboro Hospital, the Auxiliary Gift Shop is offering discounts on seasonal items. Go on in and check that out. They always have a fairly wide variety of things for people who are actually staying in the hospital, but go on in and take a look. Maybe you'll find just the right thing for a certain spot on your desk or on your table for the holidays. In entertainment, we have a periodic story that runs called What's Cooking. We're announcing through the end of December a feature called Holiday Cookie of the Week. The idea is, and this will run through December, the idea is that if you send in your favorite recipes, our editors will actually make them up with their kids in attendance. They'll make them, they'll taste them, and they will report on how everything was. So if you want to participate in that, you can contact Jillian.Pavlik at localnews1.org, or just send it to news and it'll get to the right place. News at localnews1.org, it'll get to the right place. We also have a very interesting seasonal article by Dargan Boy. Pete Waters has written a very thoughtful piece this week about faith kindness and love, and how it applies to how you go about your faith, or your lack of faith for that matter. It's a good piece. Pete writes a lot of good articles, but this one is interesting. I think it has a special relevance for the entire holiday season coming up. And finally, I want to point out that there's a growing number of theater stories and reviews that we're getting from a new addition to our contributors, Kathleen Davison, who is putting together a team of writers. Kathleen is very interested in theater, and she's going to bring a lot of that to localnews1.org. I did not know. I would have guessed that there were 10 to 15 theater groups in our area. It turns out she has actually found 38 different companies who are intent upon doing plays and shows of various kinds in the local area. So we very highly pay attention to that. I think it's going to be pretty good information. We've just recently added crossword puzzles for those of you who like to do that sort of thing. We're adding additional services. Local history is every Tuesday. The writings of Dargan Boy on Thursdays. Tons of sports that I typically can't get to unless I'm simply cherry picking a few cases where individuals or individual teams are standing out. We have many, many more from the constantly moving mosaic in which we live. We are very proud to be the news source for Standig Media. See all the local news at localnews1.org. It's all local. There's no national news in there. We are not social media, by the way. Just think of us as a newspaper without the paper. There's no, we don't do clickbait like a lot of folks do out there in social media. And with that, we will leave you with the thought of the day. Sign language is pretty handy. Bada bing. Have a great week.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.